Hi everybody, welcome to our demonstration of a short modern layer. As you can see, the sections are taken in triangles going from the center of the head and then going out in wedges or triangles in different sections. Those are going to dictate how the top is cut and are going to separate it from the sides. The sides are going to come out, as you can see here, straight away from the head at a 45 and then taking off an inch or two, whatever it is you deem to be necessary to start collapsing the design on the lower part of the side. That section will then take and at a slight alteration of the angle be brought back further and further. That's going to leave a little bit more weight on the top of the cut and a little less weight, a lot less weight really, on the bottom of the cut or the bottom of the side of the cut. As I get just a little bit into the back, you're going to notice how I push forward on this angle so that I can change the approach of how I'm cutting it. More about that in a minute, but first let's talk about these sides. I want to come from the bottom and up in a nice square approach, almost as if I were scissor over combing. I'm going to refine any pieces that got away, careful not to reestablish a guideline, just refining. So that I do not curve around the back of the head, but rather I just keep it square. The effect of this cut is to create a curve at the higher portion of along the parietal ridge that comes in closer toward the top of the ear, just the way we want it. And now as I approach the back, you'll notice my angle goes from the top corner of my section to the back of the center of the head toward the occipital, keeping a nice angle and blending in my layer here. It is a traveling guide, and so I will just kind of keep working my way toward the center of the back of the head. Let's come up from the bottom to the top and just refine these edges here. Look for any pieces that may have gotten away, kind of blend them in, maybe do a little bit of detailing. And now, having completed the right side all the way to just past the center of the back, I will start on the left side, completely in the front from the very, very beginning, and just work my way all the way to the back center, crossing it just a little bit so that the two sections, the two guides can be blended that way. And then I'll go through and refine it in just the way I did. And also I'll look for any areas I might want to take and do a little bit of detailing, a little customizing. Notice that my parting sections and angles match the right side, so we want that to be the case. And I will measure off using the ruler on the comb to make sure I'm cutting off the same amount. Then I'll check and see whether or not it's flowing in a similar way. Am I pleased with the way it's flowing, the way it's laying down when I comb it? And if I need to alter it, then I'll do that too. But typically speaking, these adjustments that I'm mentioning to you right now, this approach I mentioned to you right now, will get the job done and get it done very, very well. Now, to help tie in the center section of the back after having finished the left side and of course the right side, I will now take the center section of the back and bring it together in the center and look to anything I can refine. Just kind of trim that on up. First going vertically like so, and if I feel it's necessary, I want to flatten it or I need to just refine it from a different cross section, I'll even go in at a 45 horizontally. Careful not to reestablish a new guideline or to flatten it out too much, but to rather just blend it gently, like so. No doubt you have noticed on occasion that the center of the head, particularly from the occipital bone to the crown, lower occipital to the crown, can be thicker than other areas. And so what I'm going to do at this point is, coming right up the center, I'm going to point cut out some of the weight. I'm not reestablishing the guideline, I'm texturizing it. And I'm using a point cutting approach to it so that I can pick out the exact amount I want to texturize or to remove, as opposed to using a thinning shear or texturizing shear, which we could do. In fact, 1660 by Centrex works really, really well for this. It's so gentle. Now I will detail the side back area, side nape area as it were, and I'm going to detail it basically by point cutting it so that I can remove weight, causing it to lay down a little bit closer, and then work my way into the sides a little bit here in a scissor over comb approach. Careful not to reestablish a guideline, but rather to refine the area through here, catching little baby hairs. Taking a section from the top of the ear to the top of the crown, I'm going to layer the top of this with some jaguars. Now the jaguars are very, very aggressive texturizers, as you'll be able to see in a second. And this is going to give the haircut a much more responsive approach to it, a more responsive personality, and that's going to give us something new. And new is always kind of nice, isn't it? So you'll notice what I'm doing is I'm not layering it like you would with a regular shear, but texturizing it into a layer, if you will. Can you see where it says centric since 1660s?
If you hold it.
Okay?
Yep.
Can you see how I've got a little bit of weight right through there? This is the exact opposite of what we've been doing to her hair.
Well, Perry, we've been doing the same for lots of years.
So it's time for
just
fun.
time for fun. Something
Yep,
change.
I agree. Okay, we're going to come in through here. Create stronger contrast to here. My line here helps to tie that in. I don't want to lose too much of that. I also don't want too much of it. So rather than cut it with scissors, what if I rethink my approach and I use 1660s? Now taking the side sections which are flatter than they were before, I'm using the fine-tooth portion of a comb to comb it from the lower section around the top of the ear back to the upper parietal ridge and in the back up to the lower crown, and that's going to promote as much volume as this kind of a cut is going to get. As I do this, I keep working at the base of the top where the length is because I want to take out the undulations, movement, even the wave of the hair, so that I can get a more contrasting, straighter effect. Keep in mind this particular technique for blow drying anytime you want to control the finished effect, smooth it out more, even straighten it. Now as you're going along, if your hair is thicker or longer, rather than using the fine-tooth portion of a comb, use a vent brush. Now we're going to change the texture of the hair using a fiber gum from the Hunter collection, and I will put a link in the description if I can find it. And what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to create height in the top and texture everywhere else. I'll put some of the product into the palm of my hands, work it out to the fingertips, apply it with fingertips. Watch how this makes it pop. Then more and more use the palm of my hands. This way I'm not getting it all in one spot, but I'm getting a better, more even distribution.